All right, you guys. So, very big day on the market, and at open, what you had was surprise CPI data. Okay, so if you don't know what that means, basically, the market makers, um, they price in uh, the future rate hike at 0.75. The CPI was expected to come in lower for this period of time. So the news today was a surprise. That's the important thing, is this trend that we were in right here is based on the idea that there is 60 world economists that weigh in, and you can go look this stuff up. There's 60 world economists, and they basically all have a the work that they do is to basically give us the data and numbers. Analysts, okay? Now, all of those analysts, they had come back with this information, and they vary. They do vary. They don't come back with just one number. But all of them had come back and said that the CPI, except for one guy in Germany, had come back and said the CPI will be down this month. So the market, assuming that would happen, that's what we see. Now, you have what is called a surprise, right? The CPI surprised this morning. And the market sold off 3%. Okay, so I'm showing you in real time how to play this, right? Because I was surprised. I'm no genius. I'm just listening and just very experienced at understanding the news. So so all of Wall Street lost today. Everybody lost. You know, the only guy who didn't lose was the maniac who maybe shorted up here because he was, ahead of time, or just taking a gamble. Right here, you're taking a gamble on shorting big time, right? Because the data was supporting that we would see further continuation of the upside. Okay. Now, what I want to point out, because I've been showing you guys these indicators, and it's like, again, getting away from the idea that you're using the MACD and some of the stuff that you've learned in crypto, and you're learning how to trade like a real, like somebody who's trading options, or trading the guy who's in here doing this, who's deep in the stuff right now. So there's a few indicators that they're checking, and I told you. Did I even looked at this yet? Look at what I'm saying. I told you, if you break this line in a significant way and you come into this area, the market is going to sell off. I haven't even looked at that today. And look, I mean, guys, this is how it works. It's not Fibonacci sequences and all this shit. It's what is moving these lines, right? It's not all these horizontal lines don't move themselves. So once you understand these indicators, or you use these as your indicators versus the MACD, which then will reflect this move later, then you're a fucking trader. Then you're a day trader. Then you're something, right? And me, even right now, I'm not day trading. This is craziness to trade. I'm looking for a big swing trade is what I'm looking for. And I'm thinking I'm getting there. So based on today's news. So here you go. It came right into the line I talked about, guys. And the market sold off. So that's what you would do, is you're watching. If you see it break up into this zone, and then you get your little magnifying glass out, because we're not quite there. We're bouncing. You see how we entered, but we're kind of bouncing. I should clean this up a little bit, because now we're really getting down to it. So, I mean, right around in there. That's the real danger zone. So we're at it right now on the TNX, which is your best leading indicator for the upcoming recession, is going to be this. You can see it's kind of like setting up a little bull flag. So I'm doing this in real time right now. I'm watching myself, so this is in real time. So coming into close, it's 11 o'clock, closes at 1 o'clock Pacific. So if this starts to move up here, then I'm going to think about a short. Okay, so I'm going to show you some other stuff that I'm watching right now based on this news, just to give you real time. So we can see the TNX is up. I know the VIX is going to be up. All right, so the VIX is pulling back a little bit right now on this, but on the hourly, we see this this tail here. That's not a good sign. You see that tail? Uh-oh. No bueno. Right, so we're watching that. No big deal though. Not freaking out about that. We start to really watch when we break up here. That's on the VIX. This is telling me about volatility. The TNX is important. You can see here with the bonds, TLT, bonds are coming down. Oh shit. You're breaking a level on bonds today. So a lot of times on this is too complicated for right now, but later on you'll see a rotation out of, you should be seeing a rotation because the rates are so screwed up though, and all these rate hikes, bonds are getting wrecked. Okay, yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, so basically what we're watching on Bitcoin, you see this level right here? Now, check this out. In real time today at 1 o'clock at close, the thing to pay attention to is this. So watch this, guys. This is the real shit. You go over to your Fed rate tool. Okay. Now, okay, so you go over here, and 1 week from now, they have the hike. Now, check this out. So check this out, guys. All right. You see down here how it's at 60%? Man, I would go do the history on this, but it doesn't really matter right now because you're in a move right now. Shit's moving. So look, you see this one, 59% there. This is the 0.75. So we're still at that range. Now this morning, this is your 1% hike. This is a big deal, dude. You want to catch a short with timing. You always like, well, how did I miss it? I'm showing you. Dude, I am showing you literally to the minute what will happen, and no one is showing you this shit. Watch. Okay, so you're at 60% on this right now. So they're pricing in 0.75. Now, if you see this number's got to bump up by 20%. You can actually trade this if you're a total maniac. You can trade anything. So this is a 1% hike. This is the number everybody's watching right now. And in this past hour, this has started to move. Okay, like this morning, this was at 20%, guys. So now you're looking at a 1% or a 1 basis point move for next week, which is what happened back earlier in the summer. Remember, everybody was like, all the economists in the world, they said it one way, and now it came out, and they're going to surprise, and the Fed's going to do this. At that time, a quarter, it was 3/4. You see me? So at that time, they were like, oh, we're going to do a 3/4 rate hike on the surprise, when they were supposed to do a half. Now, this is the same exact scenario playing out. All the world economists, all these analysts, not crypto traders, like the people, they all got it wrong. So now all that data that we were pricing in, the market was pricing in this, we got to adjust, and then the Fed could come out next week and go, we're going to do a basis point, a full basis point. So if you see this at close around 1 o'clock, if you see this number start to run up in real time, and you're trying to be a savage, what you would do is you watch this number, right? You come over here, and I'm going to be watching this number. So around 12:50, around 10 minutes before close, if I see this number run up, I'm going to go over to Bitcoin. No matter where it's at, I'm going to say, I'm going to short, I'm going to move my ETF box down here. and I'm going to short on this idea right here. If I see this number, especially if I see it start to move at close, I'm going to short. That's how you do it, man. I mean, that's trying to be as helpful as I can. I just showed you the whole thought process. Now, a lot of dudes, these guys are like, well, let's get out this. Well, no shit, dude. No shit that this is going to be down. Oh yeah, let's go over to our you know, they're fucking nerds, dude. Let's go over here to this and that. And I'm sorry, I'm a little hyped on this, but it's like, oh, let's go over to the RSI. Well, no shit. And then they're going to say this. This is what RSI is oversold. There you go, guys. So here's the problem. If you're trading with this stuff and you don't understand anything I just said, you're like, RSI is oversold. Time to buy. You feel me? Uh-oh. Time to buy. You know, it's dumb. It's dumb. That's rear view mirror. You got to know what's going on. They just don't know. You know, they don't know. Forgive them. They walk in darkness kind of stuff. So anyway, basically, guys, that's what's up. This is a huge surprise for the market. If that number, I don't, look, it doesn't look good. I was not expecting, you could see a move in here. You might see another test of this. But there would have to be something pretty bullish to come out. You'd have to see these analysts start to kind of change their tone a little bit within the day, and you've really got to watch close during these moves, because what you could see is this consolidation. And on a 3x ETF, it's not worth it for me to, like, sometimes in a move like this to try to micromanage it. Sometimes I'll dial it way in. You know, I'll be like, okay, I really want to nail this perfectly, and I'm setting an order ahead of time, so I'll really get into it to 0.25%. But on a move like this, what I'm looking to do, you know, whether I get an entry when Bitcoin's here or here doesn't, you know, it matters. So I don't want to say like be sloppy with it, but I'm personally not worried about it too much. And so you can see the volume on Bitcoin's way down. It'll probably hold this level for a little bit, right? Because it just pumped from there. But we've seen it before. It's probably going to look something like this by the end of the week. And you might not see this level. This is that significant a piece of news. And if this moves up, it doesn't matter what everybody thinks about anything. If you see two things happen, so I'll leave you with this. It doesn't matter what anybody says. If this number moves up at the end of the day today, short Bitcoin. Okay, that's it. It doesn't matter what anybody says or what I said or what any lines tell you. And that's what I keep telling people is like, you have to learn how to trade in a recession. Right? It doesn't matter what anybody says. What all the lines and algorithms and all that shit, who cares? Doesn't matter. If this breaks, if this TNX goes like this and stays here, if it goes higher, but if it breaks and stays there, short Bitcoin. Doesn't matter where it's at. Because eventually, and here's the thing when I say that, you're not going to be in profit that minute, right? We're not doing bit-get leverage trade where we're trying to nail it to the second. But eventually, if you get this break and consolidation here, you're going to see what they call a zero down halt, circuit breaker. Sooner or later, you're going to have the circuit breaker. When you get the circuit breaker on the Bitcoin, oh, dude, it is next circuit breaker for Bitcoin, or when that circuit breaker hits on the SPY, which is zero down halt, 7% sell off in a day, you're going to see this break down to here. Trying to wrap it up, but this is a lot of stuff that happened today. So, and here's the thing, man, is that the next break lower for Bitcoin is not what people think right now. Okay, Bitcoin has not traded in a recession. Got to remember that shit, man. So I have all these ideas. Now I think that Bitcoin will probably get a pretty decent bounce around this 12,000 range. But long term, over the upcoming months, what we have learned today is that the world economists know nada, that they've got it wrong. So they don't know what's going on out there. I don't think it's good though. And so what you could see is Bitcoin get trapped underneath and in this range for a long period of time, say 3 months, and it starts to form another one of this kind of action. And then you get another dump down to the 8,000. That's, to me, based on today's data, that's pretty realistic, guys. And if you don't believe me, it's because your ideas are based on what they call a normalcy bias. You're used to seeing Bitcoin trade in an environment that is a macro bull environment, not during a global recession. And so the fact that Bitcoin could come down to this range, probably around here, and I know that there's a gap fill if we go back. I'd have to go way back. I know I've seen this before. There's a crazy gap fill around, I think it's around 8,000 on the daily, if you go way back historically, which is shit that nobody would do. But if you do that, you would see there's a crazy gap fill down there at that 8,000 range. And if that is the case, then Bitcoin to 8,000 is in the cards, man. It's certainly in the cards. So that's what this is telling me today, is that the probability of this, based on the macroeconomics, man, is this $7,000 to $11,000 Bitcoin. It doesn't have to happen, but the probability of that goes up. The probability of that just went up today, and I'm telling you first, man. All right, peace.